Human Rights and Director of UCL, Dr. Asad. Thank you very much to all of our guests for being with us for this ceremony. I'd also like to take a minute to thank all of the participants who have been with us for the last 2 days for being part of the discussion and discourse on women's marriage rights in Pakistan. We have all learned a lot from each other, from your questions, from your comments during the breaks and the lunch that we've had together. It's all been something that we've been able to discuss a lot of during which, and I think certain panels have really stood out to a number of our participants, particularly the one on marital rape. There was one on Islamic jurisprudence on marriage earlier today, and I think it's been a really enriching experience for us, as well as I'm hoping all of our participants who've come here from all across the country to be with us for these 2 days. I'll start off by just doing a quick introduction of all of the panel members here today, and then I will hand it over to them to take it forward. First, we have with us the Honorable Mr. Justice Shahid Bilal Hasan. Mr. Justice Shahid Bilal Hasan is the Monitoring and Administrative Family Judge Punjab and has been an integral part of the development of law and jurisprudence on a number of key issues surrounding family law. Honorable Justice Shahid Bilal Hasan has authored 2 books, namely Suits and Defenses, published in 2008, and Appeal, Revision and Review of the Judgment, published in 2010, respectively. Honorable Mr. Justice Shahid Bilal Hasan has also been spearheading alternative dispute resolution efforts in Punjab. We'd like to thank you for being here once again. Next, we have with us Mr. Muhammad Zaman Vatu, who joined the provincial service in 1994 and worked in both development and public sector. He also spent 5 years at UNDP working on poverty reduction, gender mainstreaming, gender responsive budgeting, SDGs, and human development. Mr. Vatu has also served as Deputy Commissioner for Bakr and Sahiwa, as well as an additional secretary in the Home Department and the Environment Protection Department. He has worked as Cane Commissioner Punjab and ensured rights of the farmers. Thank you so much for being with us today. We also have with us Mr. Nadeem Ashraf, who is a law graduate and holds a postgraduate diploma in public administration from UConn, USA, and advanced certification in public sector management from Harvard University. He has been a member of Pakistan Administrative Service and has served on various field and secretariat assignments for over 3 decades. During his career, he worked as subdivisional magistrate and district magistrate in various districts of Punjab, Additional Secretary Home Department, Secretary Education, and Senior Member Board of Revenue, Punjab Government. He has also served as Federal Secretary of Minister of Overseas Pakistanis and Secretary Ministry of Human Rights. He has the experience of heading public sector organizations, including Overseas Pakistan's Foundation and Telecom Foundation. Mr. Nadeem Ashraf has an extensive exposure to human rights issues, both at the ground level as well as at the policy-making level, and interacted with international human rights organizations, and has represented Pakistan at such forums both within and outside Pakistan. Thank you so much for being here. Finally, we have Dr. Syed Asad Hussain, who is the esteemed director of Universal College Lahore and a lecturer in the School of Economics and Management at Universal College Lahore. Thank you so much for being with us today, and it would not have been possible to have this event without your support. Before I hand it off to Dr. Asad, I just want to give you a quick introduction. My name is Savim Sadat. I'm a lawyer, and I'm currently serving as the Director of Policy and Advocacy at the Center for Human Rights. The Center for Human Rights is housed in UCL and was established in 2012 by law professors. The Center for Human Rights aims to promote research, development of policy, and advocacy in human rights in Pakistan. As an organization, we have been committed to carrying out action-oriented research on key development issues to support evidence-based decision-making and effective policy-making in Pakistan. Since its inception in 2012, we have engaged in different projects on a number of thematic areas. Currently, our core areas of focus include gender justice, climate justice, rule of law, digital rights, and artificial intelligence. I would now like to hand it over to Dr. Asad to start with some introductory and welcoming remarks. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Honorable Justice Bilal, members of the panel, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of this symposium. Is my voice getting through? I hope you have found it worth your while to participate. Okay. As host, it falls upon me to give you a brief history of our institution. Our college was established in 1994 with a vision to offer students in Pakistan the best possible qualifications to enable them to compete at the global level. So we chose to teach for the undergraduate programs of the University of London. The areas that we chose were economics, management, finance, social sciences, business administration, and of course, law. Over time, we have made a small place for ourselves, and our law school is recognized as one of the best options available to prospective law students. For our size, the proportion of students getting admitted into the top universities of the world, like Harvard, Cambridge, New York, Oxford, London School of Economics, is fairly high. In practical field, our graduates have made a place for themselves, and many of them are now senior partners in big law firms or have established their own law firms. It has always been our objective to provide students a variety of extracurricular and co-curricular activities. And these are a very necessary part of personality development. But being a private institution, and a small one at that, we were constrained by the lack of resources. During our journey, we found a very important partner in the shape of the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative. Way back in 2013, they helped us to set up the Human Rights Center. They helped us to hold a mooting competition. They helped us to start the Human Rights Review. And since then, the mooting competition and the Human Rights Review are part of our annual calendar. We have seen how much the center's research activities have benefited our students. We have seen the caliber of our mooting in our institution go up. We have consecutively won both national and international mooting competitions on a fairly regular basis. We have seen that a significant number of our students getting into the top-notch universities of the world were active members in the research activities of the Human Rights Center. And now, once again, ABAROLI, which is an abbreviation for the American Bar Association's Rule of Law Initiative, has helped the center launch the Human Rights Review Symposium series. This is the first of those, the Symposium on Women's Marriage Rights, and I hope that this symposium has created awareness and will encourage debate among all stakeholders. And I believe that involving students in these research activities will go a long way in establishing human rights in this and other areas. Thank you once again to the center, to ABAROLI, to the contributors, and to the guests for making the event a success. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I'd like to invite our first guest of honor, the Secretary Prosecution, Government of Pakistan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Justice Shahid Bilal Sahab, Sir Nadeem Ashraf, Principal UCL, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's indeed a matter of great honor for me to be invited to this symposium on human rights for women. And I express my gratitude to the Center for Human Development for inviting me. And I also felicitate it for organizing this symposium. I am sure that this symposium will go a long way in educating the youth regarding their rights, regarding their marriage rights. Ladies and gentlemen, Islam stands out among the religions for its protection of women's rights. Islam has given the women the right to marriage, and Quran on many occasions has said that women have rights over the men as the men have rights over women. During Khutbatul Wida, Rasul Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized the rights of women. And for protection of these rights, Rasul Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam emphasized much on many occasions. Founding fathers of our country, they envisaged a society where the women could contribute according to their capabilities in a free manner, in an environment which is free from harassment, which is free from fear. And our Constitution guarantees discrimination against, has provided guarantees against discrimination against women. And state institutions have been put in place to guarantee and safeguard the rights of women. It's very bitter reality that the pristine teachings of Islam and the provisions of Constitution, they have been overwhelmed by the local patriarchal customs. Speaking about the prosecution department, I would like to highlight certain initiatives that prosecution department has taken for the protection of women's rights. Number one is the issuance of charging standards in rape cases to assist prosecutors in selecting the most appropriate charges in sexual offenses under the Pakistan Penal Code. The other initiative that the prosecution department has undertaken with the support of certain NGOs and development practitioners is the training on police prosecution cooperation on gender-based violence cases to prosecutors and the investigators at the Center for Professional Development of Public Prosecutors, that is an entire department of the prosecution department. Then the nomination of prosecutors for conduct of prosecution in cases before the gender-based violence courts. These have been made. Nomination of prosecutors in each district have been made for legal assistance to women. And nomination of female prosecutors for women protection centers at Multan have been made. Constitution of special teams have been made of prosecutors to guide investigation teams for collection of relevant, reliable, and admissible evidence in cases where women are victims. These have also been made. Then, Government of the Punjab has brought in the Punjab Legal Aid Agency Act 2018, under which legal assistance to the indigent women will be provided. So these are some of the flagship initiatives that prosecution department has undertaken. Then the Witness Protection Act has also been brought by the government, under which, as we have seen in the case of motorway, famous motorway case, that the identity of the victim was protected so that she could depose evidence in a free manner. So there are a number of initiatives, and the government is also undertaking further initiatives for the protection of women's rights. And I hope that all these initiatives, all these steps of the government will provide a conducive atmosphere to the women folk, and will protect their rights, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to now request our next guest of honor, NCHR Member Punjab, for your remarks, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Justice Shahid Bilal, Secretary Prosecution Director of the school, and ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to be here. Earlier also in a panel discussion I was here and saw the work which has been done by the Musawi and Center for Human Rights here. National Commission for Human Rights is a statutory body under the 2012 Act, and we have been empowered to look into the violations of human rights, or also to recommend to the government any legislative measures or where the policy gaps are there, to recommend measures to bridge those policy gaps. The issue of women's rights is very important in a country like Pakistan, and especially one area obviously is very important is the marriage rights. Why it is important and why do we need to minutely look into the nitty-gritties of the law as well as the implementation is that out of this document springs the rights of the spouses, especially the women who are at an handicap vis-a-vis the men folk or the husbands in terms of litigation, in terms of assertion of rights. So if we have a document which has been completed in accordance with our existing law, then it will save a lot of issues of subsequent confusion, complications in litigation, and also ensure the women's rights which have been guaranteed to them under the law in Sharia. Taking the advantage of presence of the Honorable Justice, who is also the administrative judge of the family courts. So we had the very important figures were presented that in about 74% of Nikah namas, registered Nikah, date of registration was not indicated. Now this is something which is very serious. And in 48% of Nikah namas, the NSE of the wife or the bride was not given, which obviously indicates that she may be underage, which again is a violation of the Punjab Minimum Marriage Restriction Act of 2015. So these are the issues. I think this is an important forum that we also go back to the government, and I'm sure Judge Sahib will also take cognizance of these issues in his capacity there in the High Court, because the measures which also enforce accountability are as essential as the measures of awareness and promotion and a cultural change. So that I feel is that, as was stated earlier, that a holistic approach can attend to these issues where the women marriage rights are protected, at least for the time being under the existing law. If there is some change, some recommendation made, that obviously we can recommend to the government. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would now like to request our Chief Guest of Honor, Honorable Justice Shahid Bilal Hassan, for his remarks.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Honorable Presidium, Madam Sevim Sadat, she's like a daughter. She has just told me that she knows me. She's the daughter-in-law of a very respectable brother of mine, Zaid Ali Zaid Saab. Before coming today, I just started thinking of what to say here with regards to women. Precisely, a woman is my mother, a woman is my sister, a woman is my daughter, and one woman in the world is my wife. These are the women I know, the rules of women I know. Except for one woman, all women are either my sisters or daughters. Importantly, I've been in this judicial system for the last over 3 decades. I started my career as a lawyer in the Lahore Bar Association. I was a trial lawyer all my life till the day of my elevation at the bench. That took place 9.5 years earlier. I've conducted over perhaps 1,000 family cases, including, and the cases are, the categories are, I'll just recap. There are suits for dissolution of marriage, recovery of dowry articles, recovery of maintenance allowance, suit for restitution of conjugal rights, that's normally filed by the husband. Then a suit for jactitation of marriage. Then we come to the other side, the guardian side, the guardian judge custody, that he deals with the custody of the child. The guardian petitions under section 25 and section 12 of the Guardian and Wards Act. Then we have personal suits for recovery of personal belongings, that and suits relating to other conditions of the Nikah Nama. prior to coming here, I just had a chat with my learned brother here. I informed him that I'm looking forward to deliver a judgment on the. I would like to respond to the all parts of the Nikah Nama. In Islam, what do I know about Nikah? It's very simple. And to the young ones particularly here, my sons and my daughters, I don't consider Islam to be a religion. Islam is a code of life. It's very the most simple thing. And we are the luckiest people on earth that we are born in a Muslim family. We were not born, our predecessors, 2, 3, 4 generations earlier, they were either Sikhs or they were Hindus. That is, you all know, the seniors know this. Now the issue is, in Islam, there are two things in Islam. What I personally, I'm speaking from my experience, not from my wisdom. One thing, Hakukullah, and the second thing is Hakukul Ibad. What is Hakukullah? You versus Allah, you in connection with Allah. God has ordered you in Hakukullah, Namaz, Hajj, Roza, Zakat. Hakukul Ibad. This is why I call it code of life. Everything, how to treat your fellow beings, other Muslims. According to Iqbal, a Muslim community, when I was doing my graduation, I read that article. It was in my syllabi. A Muslim community, be in Pakistan, whether you are in Europe, whether you are in the United States of America or any part of the world. Proviso 1, you are a Muslim, you are part of one Muslim community. Now, this is the basic theme, the structure, in order to appreciate the rights of women with particular reference to the Nikah Nama, the marriage or the society, as my learned brothers have earlier said. One thing important is you have to identify yourself. Become a Vasco da Gama first. Try to discover who you are. Why was Pakistan made? To update the youngsters. We wanted, the Muslims of India wanted a separate nation where they could lead their lives according to the teachings of Islam. अभी आप मीडिया में सुनते होंगे मुसलमानों का इंडिया में क्या हाल हो रहा है. अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन वो हो रहा है. और हम, ये जो हमारा मुल्क है, who got us this country? And from many parts, I meet people, I come across certain intellectuals who tell me, I'll refer to one person, perhaps some of you may know him, Baba Muhammad Yahya. He's still surviving. He says, Hazur sallallahu alayhi wa sallam और हजरत अली रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हु, इनकी दुआओं से पाकिस्तान बना. ये मुल्क कैसे नहीं बना? और प्रोफेसर रफीक साहब क्या कहते हैं? प्रोफेसर रफीक अख्तर साहब, आई हर्ड इन वन ऑफ हिज लेक्चर्स, उन्होंने कैटेगोरिकली कहा क़यामत के रोज तक दो कौमें, दो रियासतें क़यामत तक कायम रहेंगी. एक रियासत मदीना और एक पाकिस्तान है. ये है मुल्क आपका. You are here and you've gone through 3 generations in Pakistan. Our grandparents, their duty was just to make Pakistan. They did it. The second generation, as far as I'm concerned, is my parents. With utmost respect, इन्होंने पाकिस्तान का सत्यानाश कर दिया. ये सेकेंड जनरेशन है, मेरे पेरेंट्स की जनरेशन है. Oh, you youngsters, well, I'm the third generation, I represent the third generation, you are the next generation. आप 65% हो. इस मुल्क में आप youngsters below 35, they are 65% of our population. We are a very healthy and we are of an optimistic school of thought. Firstly, my sons, my daughters, you have to identify yourself. You are living in a Muslim society. And what Allah has commanded you, Hakukullah and Hakukul Ibad. The simplest of things, if you follow Hakukul Ibad, which is mandatory, इसमें माफ़ी कोई नहीं है. हमारा ईमान है हकूकुल्लाह में अल्लाह हमें माफ़ कर देगा, लेकिन हकूकुल इबाद, I personally see, being a senior citizen, I've worked at all levels. I started my career as a school teacher. I've taught class 4, class 5, class 6, class 7, class 8, class 9, 10, and the senior Cambridge classes as well. I belong to a lower middle class family. That is where the majority of the citizens of Pakistan live or represent. I'm a lower middle class family person. Allah has given me this seat, this worth, to perform my duty as ordered and directed by Him. I was sitting at, her father-in-law knows, I was sitting at my sitting place. He said, आप कहते ना वकील दा अड्डा, sitting place, मैं वहाँ बैठा हुआ था. मुझे बुला के उन्होंने हाई कोर्ट की कुर्सी पे बिठा दिया काम लेने के लिए. आपकी ये सल्तनत, इस मुल्क को मेरा खुदा चला रहा है. ये बेसिक्स हमें पहले सबसे पहले जाननी चाहिए. You have to identify, become a Vasco da Gama, try to discover who you are. ये पाकिस्तान इस्लाम के नाम पे बना है. अच्छा, मेरे दीन में ये मॉडर्निटी वगैरह इन चीज़ों की कोई चीज़ नहीं है. अनफॉर्चुनेटली एक सेट है हम में से, स्कॉलर्स में से, जो शायद वो नहीं कहते जो दीन मेरा कहता है. हर चीज़, एंजॉय योर लाइफ, यू आर फ्री. इतना you critically analyze Islam while studying other religions, you will come to know, shukr alhamdulillah करेंगे कि आप मुसलमान हो. Now, with regards to the topic under discussion today, that is females, my daughters and my sisters. And to your information, being an administrative judge, I'm hearing constitution petition pertaining to family matters these days. I have decided, last week, I saw my disposal of 1 week means 5 days. 5 days. I decided nearly 100 constitution petitions in 1 week, last week. I'm not trying to impress anybody, not at all. I'm just trying to work on the command of Allah Almighty. Okay, when I say they are my daughters, when I say they are my sisters, ये माशरे में बहुत कुछ होने वाला है. अगर हम सिर्फ कन्फाइन करें अपनी डिस्कशन को बच्चियों के प्रॉब्लम्स के ऊपर, औरतों के प्रॉब्लम पे ऊपर, आई एम सॉरी, आपको वो चीज़ सही कॉम्प्रीहेंड और अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर सकेंगे. द इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग is to see the whole society and what I've seen in this society. Over the last 30 years, there has been a radical change in our society. पिछले 25-30 साल से हमारे माशरे में बहुत चेंजेस आई हैं. When I joined the profession in the early 90s, there were very few cases very, very few cases, family cases, pending before the learned judges, learned family courts and the learned guardian courts. In Lahore, we just used to have one guardian judge. We just used to have one guardian judge and perhaps two judges of the family court. And I'll read out the number right now as I speak. In 36 districts, how many family courts and how many guardian courts we have. And I've been thinking over all these years what's happened because of that change in the last 2 decades or 3 decades. That is the whole family system. The whole family system which traditionally we had in our society. That has one way or the other finished. The traditional system we had. कि घर में एक बड़े बुजुर्ग हैं, बड़े बुजुर्ग से मुराद हमारा दादा, हमारी दादी, हमारा नाना या हमारी नानी. वो दादे बन जाते थे, नाने बन जाते थे, पर दादे बन जाते थे, पर नाने बन जाते थे, लेकिन वो घर बैठते थे. Everybody, the word is must. अच्छा ये नहीं कि वो कुछ कहा जाता था, हर कोई करता था. वो क्या? रिस्पेक्ट. एक ये चीज खत्म होती जा रही है, खत्म हो गई है. एक चीज आ गई है जो कि बहुत ही नेगेटिव है. ये मेरी अब पर्सनल सोच है. सुपरलेटिव पे जाके फैसला करें. अब importantly, West Pakistan Family Court Act 1964 में there are two things, very important proceedings in a family case. That is the pre-trial reconciliation and the post-trial reconciliation. अब मुझसे पूछे ये कहाँ से आए हैं? How have the legislatures, how have they inducted the pre-trial and the post-trial reconciliation? मैं आपको बता दूं, कुरान के हुक्म पे ये हो रहा है. ये प्री ट्रायल रिकंसिलिएशन हमने लेजिस्लेशन नहीं की, हम कुरान को फॉलो कर रहे हैं. ये दोनों चीजें अब इसका लॉ ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस है. इस माशरे में बड़ा देखा जाता है. मैं सुन रहा हूँ, सुनता रहता हूँ, देखता रहा हूँ. बहनों का बेटियों के राइट्स इनहेरिटेंस पे वो भाई सिस्टम में डिप्राइव करते हैं. वो कुरान को डिफाई कर रहे हैं. पर बात इस वक्त मैं कर रहा हूं प्री ट्रायल और प्री ट्रायल रिकंसिलिएशन और पोस्ट ट्रायल. ये कुरान को फॉलो कर रहे हैं. फॉर डिटेल्स इफ यू वांट टू नो, मैं आपको सारा कुछ वो डिटेल्स कुरान से दे दूंगा. ये जो हमारा सारा सिस्टम है फैमिली का, ये कोर्ट्स में एक बात बता दूं आपको. वन थिंग इज फॉर वेरी सर्टन, we at the bench or we judges or the district judiciary जो है, against all odds courts are functioning and performing their duties. Now just for your personal consumption, I would like to inform you that right now we have 389 family courts in Punjab, in the 36 districts of Punjab. We have 239 guardian courts in Punjab. And we have appellate courts dealing with these family matters. They are 322. ये जिलों के हिसाब से है. 36 के 36 इजला उनकी पेंडेंसी के हवाले से ये हमारे पास, ये हमारा डाटा है जी हमारे पास. अब कमिंग टू, अभी जो मैंने आई जस्ट सेड इट दैट द नंबर इज इंक्रीजिंग. द नंबर ऑफ फैमिली केसेस, दिस इज अ रिपोर्ट जनरेटेड एंड conveyed to me on the 31st day of August 2022. It said that in 2018 we had 2,732 cases. In 2019, 2,626 cases. In 2020, 11,000. The number देखें 2019 और 2020, 2600 से 11,000 पे चले गए हैं केसेस. 11,055. 2021 again double triple हो गए हैं 36,995. And 2022, the current year, they are 78,071 cases. A total number of right now, as I speak, 131,477 family cases presently pending in Punjab. अच्छा, इसकी बहुत चीजें हैं, बहुत वजूहात हैं. Let me tell you one thing from my experience as a lawyer. Before the learned district judiciary, a civil court lawyer, a family judge lawyer, लड़का और लड़की जो स्पाउसेस होते हैं, मैं आपको बात बताऊं, 90% इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करते हैं हम पेरेंट्स. 90% प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट करते हैं. विलन जो होता है ना, वो मियाँ बीवी दा, वो 80 सस सौरे होते हैं. मैं आपको सच्ची, मैं आप टेलिंग यू दिस, ਉਹਨੇ ਐ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਦੀ ਸੱਸ ਨੇ ਐ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਲਦ ਨੇ ਐ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਭਰਾ ਨੇ ਐ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਦੀ ਭੈਣ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਲਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਐ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਨੇ. Let me tell you, this is a reality. People used to come to me as clients. ਵਕੀਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ ਲਾ ਦੋ, ਉਹ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕੋਰਟ 'ਚ ਬੁਲਾਓ, ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕੋਰਟ 'ਚ ਬੁਲਾਓ, ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦੇ ਫਲਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕੋਰਟ 'ਚ ਬੁਲਾਓ. ਨਹੀਂ, I am telling you the truth. This is the reality. This is my society. It's very unfortunate. I have personally witnessed. I was a counsel in a case representing a woman. She was an air hostess in some airlines. I will not like to name the airlines. She was my client. A very young, handsome, but not handsome, young, beautiful, all the positives in her. And her spouse, husband, was living in Karachi. Notices were issued and the proceedings were being conducted by the Learned Judge Family Court, Lahore. She came to me along with her parents. She used to come regularly on the date when the case is fixed for evidence. Obviously, they have to obtain certain instructions from the councils. I asked the father. He was a positive person. Then in a separate room, I asked the mother. तो पता लगा वो इंडिया है इस केस में. Bone of contention माँ है फिर. Then I talked to my client, the female, and she was very positive. I tried to bridge their differences out of the court. The next day I went to the court. Her husband had come all the way from Karachi. Prior to the hearing of the case, I asked the other counsel to allow me access to his client. And the counsel was very courteous. He allowed me the chance. I just talked to him for 5 minutes. You know what happened? We went to the court, the case was called. ਉਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੁੱਢੀ ਦੀ ਬਾਂਹ ਫੜੀ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਾਚੀ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ. ਸੁਲਾਹ ਹੋ ਗਈ. The case finished. शुक्र अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. मकसद कहने का, from my experience, mostly at times on account of some disputes of the elders or the close brothers and sisters of the spouses, these marriages come to an end, which is very, very unfortunate. And secondly, I just earlier said one very important thing, think over it, that is intolerance. This is perhaps one of the biggest problem that this society of mine is facing. Now, coming to the pendency of cases in the appellate courts. In 2018, it was just one. 2019, 32 cases. 2020, 115 cases. These are the appellate courts cases, that is appeals. 2021, 1,201. 2022, 8,570 cases. And right now, we just have 9,919 cases pending in the appellate courts. That is the learned district judges of the districts or the additional district judges of the districts. Now coming to the pendency of cases, family cases pending at the principal seat, that is Lahore, and the benches. They include Rawalpindi, Multan, and Bahawalpur. At Lahore, we have 5,406 cases. In Bahawalpur, we have 2,227 cases. In Multan, we have 4,257 cases. And in Rawalpindi, there are 1,779 cases, and the total number comes to 13,669 cases. I assure you, the audience, and my learned brothers and sisters sitting here, that inshallah Aziz, by 30th June 2023, we'll decide all these 13,699 cases, inshallah. There's one important thing that I have, as being head of the family courts, I have issued a directive to the 36 district judges of Punjab. I finalized it. I've brought a copy of the said directive, and I would like to share it with you. See, कोई काम करे ना करे माशरे में, कोर्ट्स हमेशा काम करती हैं. Now you can see all disputes, all political disputes, all disputes of the commoners with regards to they file their applications before the learned bureaucracy, and the bureaucracy doesn't respond to their applications. They file constitution petitions before us. We're always there working round the clock. I personally sit in the High Court for 11 to 12 hours every day. I stay in the court for 11 to 12 hours every day, and I've been doing it for 9.5 years. Just for one reason, I'm answerable to Allah Almighty. Sirf usko jawab dene ke liye. Now, these are the steps that I, as head of the family courts in Punjab, have advised or directed all the district judges of the 36 districts. I'll just read out for your kind information. Family Courts Act 1964 aims at the expeditious settlement and disposal of disputes relating to marriage and family affairs. The district judge will sensitize the presiding officers, that is the family courts, the family judges, to strictly adhere to the statutory timelines and clear directions under section 8, 9, 12A, 14, 17A of the West Pakistan Family Courts Act 1964. The district judge will make administrative arrangement to the effect that the process serving agency for execution of process in family cases report to the senior civil judge family division. A pool of process servers and bailiffs may be notified to report to senior civil judge family division in this regard. The recording of evidence by the presiding officer himself is beneficial for appraisal at the time of judgment and enables him to appreciate the facts and law in concrete manner. The district judge shall ensure that the evidence in family cases is being recorded by the presiding officers themselves. अच्छा, एक मैं आपको बात बता दूं, हमारी कोर्ट्स में प्रोविजन हमने दी हुई है कि एविडेंस लोकल कमीशन के थ्रू रिकॉर्ड हो जाए. लेकिन यहाँ स्पेसिफिकली मैंने कहा है कि नहीं, ये जजेस खुद लिखें, ताकि जब वो लिखेंगे तो वो फिर वो फैमिली के उस केस को अंडरस्टैंड ठीक तरह कर सकेंगे. The oral evidence must be submitted in the form of affidavits and not more than 2 clear-cut opportunities should be provided to each party for completion of evidence. अब ये आपको पता है कि जब एक सिविल ये फैमिली सूट फाइल होता है तो आपने एविडेंस सारी साथ लगानी होती है, दावे के साथ अपनी लिस्ट ऑफ विटनेसेस. तो वो जो एग्जामिनेशन इन चीफ है उसके हवाले से हमने कहा है कि आप एफिडेविट्स ले लें जितने भी गवाह हैं और पार्टी है. द कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी of at district level comprising of all stakeholders, that is senior civil judge, family division, senior most judge of appellate court, presiding president bar may be constituted to discuss and resolve the issues becoming impedient in the way of expeditious disposal of the case. देखिए हमने सबको ऑन बोर्ड कर दिया है, बार को भी कर दिया है, बेंच को ऑन बोर्ड कर दिया है कि वो भी मीटिंग्स करें, ये केसेस जल्दी डिसाइड करने की है. अच्छा, दिस इज वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट of the disposal of family cases. Rather, I'll allow me to say it's all categories of cases in Pakistan. That is the ADR, the alternate dispute resolution. I've been this ADR system for your personal consumption. I'll just bring to your notice. It started in the Lahore High Court in the year 2017 by my Lord Mr. Justice Mansoor Ali Shah Sahab, now the judge of the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan. And ever since 2017 till date, till perhaps June of this year, I've been a part of the ADR system. Rather, in the last 2 years, I've been the head of the ADR system in Punjab. And now, on account of my administrative affairs, I've just said, sorry, I don't have time. My learned brothers, they have taken over. Now, this is the most important for the family cases. Let me tell you, just recall the pre-trial reconciliation and the post-trial reconciliation. At these stages, the cases ought to be sent to the ADR courts. Right now, we have 36 ADR centers in Punjab. Every district judge has his mediators, and the mediators we have in the district judiciary, they are honorable judges. The next is the practice of filing frivolous miscellaneous applications should be curtailed. The scrutiny of cases through this. There are many other things we have done. I have wrote this letter and it will reach all the 36 districts in like 1 week's time or 10 days' time. We are, as far as women are concerned, my daughters are concerned, my sisters are concerned, the district judiciary has always stood with them with regards to deciding of their cases. Now, I'll just remind you one thing. Basic thing, the problems of women in this society, firstly, we'll have to identify ourselves, who we are, where we were, where we are, and where we ought to go. The issue is just one, as far as I see. Very simple. While communicating it or addressing it, it's very simple. But while following it, it changes lives. Let's lead our lives according to the injunctions of Islam. That is the only thing. That is why this Pakistan, we have Pakistan. That is why we are in this, just because of Islam. Just follow the dictates of Islam. I can assure you, you will never cross a woman, a daughter, a sister will never come across any problem. There are exceptions. There are always exceptions to the general rule. It will. For instance, I'm married. I'm married for last 25 years, and I have my daughter here. She is a law graduate now. Let me tell you one thing. आज तिकर मैं अपनी बुढ़ी नाल नहीं लड़िया. It's my 26th year. I have never quarreled with my wife. For the reason very simple, I've taken her as my friend. We're friends. We're partners. It's very simple. I've respected her always. She has respected me, looked after me, cared for me, and she is doing it. Why not us? Why not the whole system? The issue is just one, to resolve any problem that my daughter or my sister comes across in this society. The only solution is Islam. The only solution is Islam. The only solution is Islam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our Chief Guest of Honor and all of our guests of honors here. Before I move towards the closing of this panel, I just want to take a minute to talk about what we have all been here for today and what our next steps are. So all of our panelists, all of our participants, we have in the last 2 days compiled and captured your insights, comments, and feedbacks on the different issues that were highlighted from a number of papers that we have received that will be published in the coming months in the Human Rights Review, which is an annual law journal that the Center for Human Rights publishes. So we will be in touch with you, and we will make sure that you receive the final papers and are able to read what comes out of it. Finally, I would like to thank all of our partners who have made this event possible. We have a number of different partners for this event, which include Kanundan, Youth General Assembly, According to Law, and some very special partners without whom this would not have been possible. One of those is Masavi, and the other would be the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative. We are grateful for your support throughout this process. And thank you so much to everyone once again for being here. I would now like to request the Chief Guest, Honorable Justice Bilal Shahid, if we could have you with us for a small ceremony. I would also like to request Ms. Doreen El-Haj from American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative, if you could join us on the stage, and Barrister Umar Khan. Yeah. And we would also then like to request the guest of honors with us, Chief Secretary Prosecution Punjab, and also Member Punjab and CHR, and Director UCL to join us. Thank you so much.
So may I first start with some of our panelists. May I invite Ms. Khushbakht Jilani. Ms. Sivim Sadat. Ms. Fatma Bukhari. Mr. Muaz Shah. If there are other panelists that haven't been called, I apologize. We will give you the shields in due course. May I now request, sir, to give our shield to our guest of honor, Mr. Nadeem Ashraf, Member Punjab, National Commission of Human Rights. Moaz, sorry you didn't get your shield. Yeah, please. Moaz was a panelist for a couple of panels. May I request the Honorable Chief Guest to give the shield to our guest of honor, Secretary Prosecution, Government of Punjab. May I request Ms. Dereen, American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative, and Dr. Asad to please give a shield to the Honorable Chief Guest. Sir, may I also request to give a shield to our lovely director, Dr. Asad. May I also acknowledge all of you for your patience. Thank you for attending the symposium. For us, the symposium, the dialogue, the debate is not over, and you will hear from us in due course. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have high tea for you at the same place that we had the lunch. Thank you once again.